Welcome to the Rockstar Relationship Show with Keith and Jesse.
Grab your favorite drink, put down your judgy attitude, and let's rock.
And we are back in the podcast paradise, you and me and all of our friends. Okay, so today's topic I'm excited about. I want to rant, but then I want to, your boobs are looking amazing.
Oh, thanks.
They really are. Like, that's a great bra on top. Where did you get that?
Spanx.
Oh.
All Spanx.
All Spanx.
All Spanx.
So I'm just going to stare at your boobs all day. No, I'm kidding. Hey, so
That's why I wore it.
yeah, I like it. I can't get anything done right now. Excuse me. So, hey, there's one of my really good friends. Our good friends are the Whites, Garrett White and his wife. And he's been talking about dating your wife forever. And a lot of people have glommed onto that. And dating your wife has been a thing. People have said it for a long time. I'm sure he's not the originator, but he owns the domain, Date Your Wife. And I love that. And he's one of my besties. Like, we surf all the day. We talk shit to each other all day long, every day, surfing. But I have to pause and consider and say, how horrible is the situation in relationships where a guy has to be reminded to actually take his wife or his girlfriend on a date?
That's crazy.
It's mind-boggling to me. It's like, well, that's how you fell in love. Like, that's where you got to know each other.
You have
That's
this
fun.
one person. Why wouldn't you want to have fun with them?
And dating's fun.
Yeah.
Man. So we want to talk about some of the pros and cons, really, like what to do to make these dates fun.
Yes.
But here's another thing, and this is, and I talk about this in the water with Garrett a lot too. I go, it's not about dating your wife. It's about decoding. It's not about dating your partner. It's about decoding your partner and getting along with him so that your dates are actually fun.
Because it's easy just to go eat and then stare at a movie and not talk.
Yeah.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, and we do that every once in a while, but that's
that's
typically
nice.
our dates.
Yeah, exactly. It's because we have the other ones also.
Yeah.
So it makes it fun to relax and take a breather away from the kids.
Yeah, because you and I, we've been out, and we've seen people on dates. They're doing the dating thing, but they're not engaged.
Yeah.
They're not, like, connecting.
Fun,
they're
talking,
on their phone,
yeah.
and they're, like, wondering what's going on, and they're just... And it's more about... Yes, dating is... It should be so obvious that you should date your wife.
Isn't that crazy?
So good on you, Garrett. Which, by the way, we're going to have him on the show, him and Danielle. He said just a couple days ago. He goes, we gotta.
Yes, that'd be so fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll get around the table. We'll have some shots and just have a good old time.
Can't wait.
It's sad that we have to remind people to date their wives, but there is some steps, I think, to making great dates. I love dating you. I get excited about it. And,
me too.
And I think there's some myths that people don't know, and maybe some mechanics we should tell people that make our dates amazing. Mm-hmm. So I think a myth that people might think is that it's the same day, same time, every time. And it's not.
Or same thing.
Or it's the same thing, same date every time. It's not that way for us. There is a date night at least. We go on a date and a family date once a week.
Yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Because we have a 5.5-year-old daughter, so we bring her on a date.
And then you also take her on dates alone, and then I do the same alone.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's all we do.
It sounds like all we do is date. We're professional daters.
Yeah.
Folks. That's all we do. No, it's we just make time for each other.
Right.
That's the real principle behind dating your wife is why don't you make time for each other the way you did when you were quote unquote dating. Mm-hmm. And this is why that statement, if you're going to stop courting your partner, somebody else will, is so true. And so it's not always the same night for us. It's not always the same person who plans it.
Yeah.
You don't always plan the dates. I plan the dates sometimes. You don't always have to get the babysitter, although you do more now. But I used to get the babysitter I wouldn't say 50-50, but there were times where I would. Mm-hmm. So guys initiate, right. Hey, and those ones, because sometimes I'll get a hair up my butt and go, hey, I want to do this or this or this, and I'll be like, wear this, and I won't tell you what's going on.
That makes it exciting.
But a lot of girls get pissed, and even you do sometimes. Like, okay, what am I wearing? Okay, wow, what are we doing? You're like, what am I doing? And I go,
control issues.
Just relax, dude. I got this.
Right. No, but it ends up being like so much fun, and that's needed for someone like me, I guess. So it just wear your workout clothes, like okay.
Yeah. Wear your workout clothes, or I'll be like,
Or you pour me a shot. Put your heels on. Let's go.
Or it's a heels and jeans night.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? Or it's like, hey, gussy up.
Yeah.
That's an old term I learned from my
Gussy.
grandfather and my dad. So if you hear me saying old man terms, even though you probably think, God, this guy looks not a day over 27, I do. So it's not always the same. Not always the same person does it. It's not always the same time. Oftentimes we'll do day dates. I own my own business, so sometimes on a Friday we'll say, fuck it. We'll go work out, and then from there we'll get ready or something, or we won't even work out, and we'll just go get breakfast at Mutt Lynch's
and ride bikes
in Newport.
on the beach.
We'll ride beach cruisers, go hiking.
Switch it up.
We switch it up. We try and like to do active stuff because we like to be active. And
then those once in a while we'll go to LA or Las
Okay,
Vegas.
so then
there.
so there's like degrees as well. So like in Vegas, we'd have the nanny over for the night, and then we would just go blow out the lines,
right?
And go see Boyz II Men
like
or Bruno Mars. We'd get drunk.
Yeah.
I'd get high, THC edibles. You'd get drunk. And we'd have just a blast,
and
man.
Just let
we'd
it all
have
go.
Hotel sex.
I need that once in a while.
Yeah, well, you got to let the lines blow up.
Yeah.
Sometimes now, since we're Southern California centric, we'll do that with Hollywood.
West Hollywood.
We love everything Vanderpump has ever done. Lisa Vanderpump, shout out to her.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. From a girl's perspective, and this isn't a "That's What She Said" segment that's coming, but this is, why are dates so? Why do you like dates? What does it do for you as a woman?
Well, obviously, for the day dates with me and you makes me feel connected. I just talk and talk, and because you're so busy sometimes. Or anybody, it's hard to just sit and talk. And so sometimes women just want to be heard, and you just want to just talk about things, or it just feels nice.
Yeah.
Just to talk to my best friend during the day. But then those fun, when we go like all the way out, I like to get dressed up. I love dancing. I just like to just let it all go. I feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
So the stresses of life, I just kind of let them all go. And so that's needed as well. But then you get to see me in my element.
Yeah.
Happy and just carefree and no kid on my arm and just see me shine.
Yeah.
So I think for you that's needed in that way too.
That is one of the things I love is watching you.
Yeah. Well, I love to dance.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I'll dance. I'm not a great dancer. I don't mind getting out there. Remember that one dance off that I got into and the gay guy came up and started dancing with me?
Oh my God, that was at Sir?
Yeah. It was at Sir?
Yeah.
So that was a funny story. You and I went out. Was Stacy with us?
Yeah, Stacy was with my friend.
Okay,
Stacey.
so Jesse, one of Jesse's best friends, Stacy, who is a hoot, and we love her. This will have to be the episode you send her.
I know, right?
She'll be like, they talked about me. Oh my God. Which she's so cool. I love her. And she was a huge, huge help to me when I got Jesse back when Jesse dumped me. That's a key. We'll talk about how to get your ex back in another video. Become best friends with the mom and the best friend. Super key. But we're there. You're dancing up a storm with Stacy. There's a gay guy that's dancing. And then I get out there and start dancing, and he and I start dancing, which I was okay with. But his boyfriend did not like him dancing with the tattoo.
So then I started dancing with him. We had a little dance off. It was so fun.
That was so fun. So I'll do that a lot because I know how much you love to dance.
Right.
And so I like to sit back and watch you do your thing. You are one of the very best dancers I've ever seen, though.
It's in my soul.
Yeah, but all my guy buddies were like, dude, is that natural? Did she practice that? Like, what is it? I'm like, I think she was born with that. Yeah.
I don't know.
So it lets you feel. One of the things that you and I do on our dates is we become like kids again.
Right. Which is so important.
Yeah. Ride bikes.
Yeah.
We used to do it when we lived down here closer to Newport Beach. We would cut out for the afternoon all the time and just go hang out in the water, get a tan, just kind of do the beach thing. Mm-hmm. And that was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know that we ever really stopped dating. There was a time where I think I was just so busy in the business and I did. So
well, here's the thing. You would travel a lot.
Yeah.
And so you got to go out and you were with your friends, right? And I
Yeah.
had a little baby.
Yeah.
So I stayed at home.
Yeah.
And when you would come home, you would be tired. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, what about me?
Yeah.
So I think that contributed to a lot of our arguing.
Yeah.
So by the way, when you're arguing with your partner a lot, it's important to, when you go out, even if you're mad, even if you're angry, you still need your date time.
Yeah.
And you can talk about it, but I suggest not to.
Yeah.
Just to let everything go for the meantime, for that night or that day, and just kind of have a good time and remember who your partner is.
But I like what you're saying. And in theory, you just solved so many people's problems. But in practicality, I mean, think about some times that you've been just like, God damn it, Keith. And you're pissed at me.
Yes, I remember. And so what I would do, I would, have a drink.
Okay.
Take a deep breath, just kind of relax. And I'd still with you. But what I would try to do is start just, how was your day? I'm excited about tonight. You just kind of.
You try and get in the moment.
Yeah.
I love that because actually, now that I'm thinking about that, we have argued or been in the middle of an argument, and then we just were like, hey, you know what? We're gonna go out and have some fun. That argument, we can finish that later,
right?
If we want to.
Or I mean, you can. And I remember kind of letting it go for a while, and then kind of bringing it up in the middle of the night when the time was right, and be like, and that really did upset me, but I do want to let it go, and I want to move forward. Or can we talk about the deeply tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or I mean, obviously, it's not something so huge.
Sure.
But you're just constantly bickering.
Yeah. Which
so
is
I think just let it go. And then I remember even resolving it. Okay, I'm sorry you thought, and you're in a better mood when you're out and you have had a drink or so and you put some food in your belly. You're not with the kids constantly. You're just in a better mood. So you're in a better headspace to talk about it.
Okay. So that reminds me, and I'm glad you mentioned that. And that's going to be easier said than done, like everything.
Yes.
Just by the way, if you go in your head and say, that's easier said than done, no shit. Everything's easier said than done. That's just life.
Yeah.
But here's what I wanted to say. I think dates are important for women in a heterosexual relationship that have kids because they tend to, not always, but there's going to be a lot of women that are going to watch this or listen to this and be like, amen, brother.
Yeah.
They tend to lose themselves in thinking they're just a mom.
Especially first-time moms.
Or they're
that's
just
what I did.
a wife. Mm-hmm. As opposed to being like, no, I'm a sexy, badass bitch, and I'm going to go and have a blast tonight.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I love seeing that side of you.
Yeah.
And
but I did lose it.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I agree. So I'll plan some. Just because I actually like things. And it's not even that I plan some, because I don't want you guys thinking I'm over in my journal being like, okay, first we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. Although I do that. Yeah. It also can be, for now, us, it's kind of a team effort. And I'll be like, so for example, March 5th, the Comedy Store, Joe Rogan.
Ooh, LA.
We'll get our homies from Dana Point, and they'll probably want to go because they've been totally into stand-up lately. And be like, hey, let's go do a Hollywood night. We're going to go eat at our favorite restaurant, and we'll go watch Joe Rogan and the gang just tear the Comedy Store apart.
So excited.
And then that's a great night.
But this weekend, what are we doing? Family bike rides on the beach.
Yeah. So it's always different. I think what happens is it's not just about dating, but it's like anything. You got to show up with intention. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I want you to feel super special. I like getting dressed up, but not really. Like, I'd rather wear a ball cap, a T-shirt, and gym shorts for my entire life.
And, for me, I like being comfortable at home. Like, I wear your old T-shirts.
Yeah.
I don't dress like this all the time. So
yeah. But when we get out,
I love getting dressed up.
It's like shows your self-worth, and it shows you that, hey, you're worth me getting dressed up for.
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot of subtle cues that are being told and showed to each other. I care about you. Here's another thing for you and I bet you there's more people out there that like this that are not admitting it. But I like feeling sexy, man. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were gonna say, which is true too, is that you like when other people look at me, or I like when other people look at you.
Oh yeah, like attention.
It feeds
We're
our
like,
ego.
Yeah. I was saying that.
Oh yeah.
I just was starting off first with I like to
I
feel
just
sexy.
already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
That.
The second part is I want to turn a head or two. I don't think I'm a Brad Pitt by any stretch of the imagination. But if you listen to me for 2 minutes, I got you.
Got those brains, don't you?
And personality and laugh and joke and fun and all this other stuff. So I believe making memories and creating really fun moments is really, really crucial. I think I heard this from a guy, and I think he's so smart. His name is Corey. And he said, the purpose of dating is to hang out, have fun, and hook up. And he said the purpose of dates are to create an environment that everybody feels comfortable enough to, when the date is closing towards the end, you have sex. Now, that's a dating thing without being in a relationship. That's like a new dating thing. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. But I also think there's some truth to that with our relationship. Even though you and I have some like things we do, like we like to have sex before we go out.
Relieves the pressure.
There's no like, I hope I'm going to get laid or wonder if I'm going to get laid. Like I never wonder if I'm going to get laid or hope I get laid because I'm getting laid.
Well, and you're more relaxed, you know?
Yeah, but it's more like we get to go. So that's one of the things we do. Like not every time we go out, but a lot of times we'll have, if we know we're going to go blow out the lions, a lot of times we'll have sex before we go out.
Yeah, especially when we get home, it's like 2. It's like,
we're like
so tired. I'm glad we did it earlier.
And there's a scientific term called whiskey dick that is real.
Right. And girls get numb. You're just like, oh.
Yeah. Dude, well, if you
that's if our date's like crazy fun.
Yeah. But guys, we still do that. I know you look at us and you're going, well, that's a good church going couple there. No, man, we like to get rowdy. We like to have a lot of fun. There is a temptation probably to think that people look at our life and notice we have abundance and think, well, I can't do that because I don't have the money you guys have. And that's a load of shit. We have abundance because we're dedicated to our craft and we're good at what we do. But not everything is that expensive. Dude, renting a couple of bikes on the beach walk is like $16.
I know.
And a breakfast is maybe $22, depending on what you
eat. Bring sandwiches and have a picnic. Like, that's so fun.
Or just go
hiking.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool free options, so you don't have to say, man, we're going to go to the
Pick up some Taco Bell.
Yeah. Like,
that's
just,
my favorite.
Just different. And I tell this to a lot of my friends who also have abundance. I just go, guys, like, be thoughtful. It's not about how much money you spend. It's about, let's be thoughtful about things. And the truth is I look at dating you as investing in my favorite relationship. You know what I mean? Like, of course I want to be alone with you. I don't want as much as I love Jovi, it's like, shoo, woman, I want to be with Jesse and I want to talk with you.
Well, because it just becomes about her. So just
because that's our job as her caretaker, right?
And so when she's not there, it becomes about us. Yeah. And then I feel like, she's at home, she's safe, like I'm relaxed.
Yep. Now when it comes to conversation, obviously I think a good date shouldn't be about, hey, did you pay the bill? Did you get the shit from Target I asked you to? Blah, blah, blah. I say go back to like when you were dating, like find out about them. Most guys don't know anything about their wives' past lives.
I always end up talking about something.
In
the past.
Yeah, about your parents or about, hey, this growing up as a kid, blah, blah, blah. Here's why that's cool, because there's a lot of things you tell me about when you grow up. And I'm picturing what that looked like.
Yeah.
And I'm creating a memory that never happened.
Well, it did happen, but you weren't there.
It didn't happen the way I see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even when I tell you, like, I lived in Montana for 8 years.
Like, I have a picture of you doing that.
Yeah, but you don't even know what Montana looks like.
No, I've never even been there.
Like, if I showed it to you, you'd be like, this is where you lived? Because it doesn't look like Montana. Like
Right.
there wasn't a little log cabin with a little
mean-
trail of smoke and me out chopping lumber. And
I somewhat think that.
but there's parts of my life that were like that.
Yeah.
But when it really boils down to it, it looks like just kind of like, man, this is a little boring ass small town. Like, what did you do here?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's not everything's a fly fishing adventure.
God, we've lived such different lives.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, so when you tell me about that, I get to place this memory and then recall it back with you. And listen,
So nice.
There's another quote that I heard that I thought was really interesting, that women talk about 4 times as much as men during the day on average.
I mean, I would think so.
I would think so too.
A lot of women I like to talk to my mom or my friends.
And I think a woman wants to be heard by her man.
Yes.
Like, yeah, listen. And one of the things that I do this genuinely, even though it's something that I teach guys to do because it doesn't come naturally for them, is I go, tell me more. Well, what happened there? What were you thinking when that happened?
Oh, I get pumped.
Because
Okay.
I want to get into it. I want to know what you were thinking.
Yeah.
And one of the best conversation, to be a great conversationalist, you have to ask great questions. And I think with women specifically, you want to get into the emotion of what it was like. So if you tell me, hey, Keith, I moved to Texas when I was 16 or 17 or 18, and I go, my initial reaction wouldn't be like, oh, where was it? It might be, how did that feel?
It was awful.
Yeah, and then you explain, like, what was it like meeting the first person at school? Did you ever become popular? Were you ever outcasted? What was your first boyfriend? You dated the quarterback on the football team and everybody fucking hated you. Like, there was I know these stories because you and I, but it's like if I was on a date with you, that's where I figured all this stuff out, was pretty much
all
from
those
dating
things, all those memories, all those times for me made me who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, why wouldn't you want to get to the science behind it?
Can I tell you something crazy?
Tell it to me now.
Tell me now.
Tell me now.
I almost pride myself on the word that I'm dating you more than I'm married to you. Because I know we're not like, we don't believe in
We didn't sign papers.
We didn't sign papers, but we're life partners.
Yeah.
That's the way we've chosen to be. But to me, dating you, and it's the exact opposite of what
Yeah.
oh, who are you dating? Oh, it's your boyfriend, whatever. And I just go, when I hear people, they've been married, because I've been around a lot of married couples, it's like,
Oof.
it's almost like, oh, I probably know you've stopped dating. And even people that date don't date. They don't like, I'm going on a date. Like, if you and I have a date, nothing is breaking that. It's just not going to happen. Are you kidding me? It's like, I'm going to go hang out with my favorite human being on planet Earth tonight, and we get to get loose. Holler. Yeah, dude. We're going to go through our list of 17 babysitters to make sure somebody can watch Jovi.
Grammy, someone's
Someone's got to watch it.
Let's go.
And so I think, I'm proud of, like, I'm dating her because this is the sense, and this might sound crazy to you, but it probably sounds amazing because I think it sounds amazing to me. When you're dating somebody, you can leave. The perception is you can leave a lot easier. It's easier just to be like, I'm done, and you walk away. Whereas it's married, you've got to go through this, and you got to go through that, and you got to go through this. Here's why I'm more proud of it. Because I haven't contractually obligated you to anything. You're here of your entire free will.
That's a great way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
They're putting it different in your
The
brain.
14 million people that are going to watch this video and listen to this podcast are going to, that's a
That's
perspective
very
shift.
interesting.
I don't have any you have no obligation to be here other than the fact that you want to be. And to me, that's what love really is. Love is a choice. I choose you. There's a gazillion other girls that I could be with and that would want me. And there's a gazillion other guys that you could be with and that would want you. But I choose you. Why? Because I love you more than anything. I like dating you. I think you're fun as shit. You're really funny. You think of fun stuff. When we go out, all my friends know this. If they go out with you and me,
They're in for a good time.
they're in for a great time. But as we've learned at some of the parties we've gone to, you're good at making sure everybody gets their shots on time. Take their medicine. Everybody's trying to take their medicine.
The way I was raised, I don't know.
Yeah, but so I would rather be with that person. That's for me. Not everybody would want that.
Yeah.
And there are times where you want to go out and blow out the lights. I'm like, dude, I'm going to bed. Go
Right.
hang out with your girlfriends. Have fun.
Yeah.
So I think that, to me, that's what dating is. That's what dating your partner is all about. Having fun. Leave the bullshit behind, because the truth of the matter is we're only going to stack up memories in this life. And when we get to the end, that's what we're going to look back on.
What's one more day when you have all these like issues and what, like, just let it go.
Write it down. You know how,
Yes.
you know what I do? You're not allowed to ever look. I have notes.
Is this your diary, sweetie?
No, no.
Oh my God.
No, I have notes in my phone.
Yeah.
And so when we go through our arguments, I write everything down about.
When you're mad.
Yep.
Yep.
I write everything down on why you're wrong and why I'm right. I do. And then I think, oh, I'm going to just show her what an idiot she is about this. Not that I think you're an idiot, but you know what I mean? Why she's wrong here, and I write it all down. The reason I do that is because then it actually stops me from stewing on it.
Because you've gotten it out.
Okay, I got it out. We can address this whenever the time is right. You said something to me 2 nights ago.
Oh gosh. What?
Remember this situation right here in the office? And then you left. I go, man, that was kind of a shitty way to show up. Now, there was reasons why I thought all those things, but I didn't. I thought maybe you were going to ask me about it and go, do you want to talk about it? I thought you handled it really, really brilliantly. You just, you said, hey, I'm sorry about that, whatever. It was a simple thing. But I had like 5 points of things I wanted to talk to you about, but I'm like, I'm not going to talk about it right now because we were in party mode and that wasn't the place to bring it up. But then I thought, I'm going to sleep on this. I'm going to see if I even feel any of these things tomorrow. I didn't feel any of them the next day.
Wow.
So maybe we should do an episode on, conflict resolution, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I think this is enough for the dating. Any closing comments that you want to add?
No. Said it all.
Well, let me add one more then. How can women make their men more excited about dating them? Is there something that they can do? Because it's usually like, hey, guy, you're not dating your wife. You're a big lug and a piece of shit. When it's not necessarily that. It can be other things.
Well, maybe one thing is men are very visual. So maybe try to look extra nice. Don't bring up a bunch of stuff. So like I was saying before, it's don't, right the second they get alone without the kid. You did that. Maybe just, how was your day?
Yeah.
And then he's like, yes, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
She looks so beautiful tonight.
So
She's in a better mood. Yay, we're going to have fun. So something like that.
You know what I think would be cool? I'm going to say this.
What?
I need your support on this because if I say it and I don't get your support, the women are going to hate me.
Okay, well, it depends on what it is.
Okay, well, let's see. So I think that women should dress up really sexy. I think women should stop nagging.
Oh, my God.
Hold on, no, listen. You got to hear the whole thing.
Okay, go.
And I think they should aggressively attack him sexually.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. You got to hear. You're not hearing me all the way out.
Don't listen to this part, anybody.
This is important. No, listen.
I agree to some degree,
on.
but
you didn't hear the whole thing out,
go.
so you
You're
can't
right,
agree to all
go,
of
go.
it. If they're struggling in that area and the woman really wants to show them, no, I do want you. I do like you. And it's almost like if men are dogs, and not like they're bad, but they're just more built that temperament.
Yeah.
Hey, taking me out, this is who you get. This is the reward for treating me like I'm a date you want to date. So I want to dress sexy. I don't want to nag you. And I want to be not aggressive, but I want to be touchy-feely because I want you to know that you're important to me as well. Can you get behind all of that?
Well, yes.
Well, that's why you needed to finish.
Okay, but it also depends on what kind of argument they had before. Stop.
Yeah, but yes. I think what a surprise especially if they're arguing. What if she just says, I'm not gonna nag him about all the shit that he's
Well, don't say women nag.
Okay, hold on. I'm not saying nagging in the sense that they're bad.
Just don't say anything about whatever's going on.
Because he's probably acting like an idiot anyway.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying he's perceiving it as nagging.
Right.
I'm not saying it is nagging.
Okay.
I'm not saying it is nagging.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, what if she just shocked the shit out of him, ruined his night in a good way, and said,
now what?
That's what you get when you show up and you take me out like a man.
What was that one thing that you said?
Can you get behind that?
Yeah.
Well, I need to know because the ladies,
yes.
I need the ladies on my side too.
But here, this goes along with it. That one thing that you said, like the guy treats your wife like you love her because he hated her or whatever for 30 days, and do you still want 90 days, and do you want to still get divorced?
Yeah.
And then no.
Well, that's a big part.
So I forget that whole thing, but you go ahead.
It's a very simple story, and it's why we created the 90-Day Survival Guide.
Exactly.
And it was simply this: a lady wanted to divorce her husband. She went to the divorce attorney, and he said, "Hey, here's before you divorce him, if you want to really get him back, if you want to make this guy's life miserable." Be the best wife, the most caring, sexy, attentive, awesome lady for 90 days. Then on the 90th day, drop the divorce papers. So then he'll just be like, oh my gosh, I'm missing on the most amazing lady. What happened after 90 days? He goes, hey, are you ready to divorce him? Said the attorney. And the lady's like, I'm so madly in love with this man. I could never. Because it comes down to one principle. Relationships, you want to give in a relationship. Too many people are here to take. Men become whiny bitches about sex because they're thinking in take mode, withdrawal mode. They're not thinking in invest mode, deposit mode, give mode, serve mode. Trevor doesn't understand what it means to serve other people. Just doesn't have a freaking clue about it. So that's what I believe about dating. And I think that's a good word about the women. Get up, get ready, make it happen.
Show him that you care.
And if he doesn't respond, do it again. And if he doesn't respond, then specifically let him know, do you know how many men would love to take me on a date?
Ooh, you would like to hear that? Is that something you would have liked to hear?
I don't know that I would want to hear that. I know that I would need to hear that if I was dropping the ball in a massive way.
I like that.
All of this is what you would say, or they would say. All this.
You ain't getting this no more.
And I'm giving myself to you. I'm showing up, and you can't even take your pleated Dockers off and put on some cool pants and take me on a date and swing me around a dance floor. Almost like getting like, hey, am I
Bruno
not
Mars
worth it?
Song. Someone else will. Like, I should have bought you flowers.
I should have bought you flowers.
Alrighty.
And held your hand. Yeah, that's a great song. All right. That's it. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Take care. We're out. Congratulations on consuming another episode. If you loved it, then leave a review. If you know somebody else will love it, share the episode with them. And if you want our help or you want more resources, go to keithandjesse.com. keithandjesse.com. Jesse is spelled Jesse, like a boy.com. Go out and absolutely crush it. Have a great day. Go out and do what you got to do to make your relationship rock.